So, hello everyone, welcome to the very first episode of our podcast. And into our today's podcast, we have Elijah, who is a traveling nurse. He just cleared his RN exam. And then we have Pastor, his original name is Asim, and he just cleared his LVN exam and he's a traveling LVN. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
So, so guys, today is our first episode of our series, and this is a new channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. So let's get started. So my very first question is, are you satisfied with the result of the elections?
I personally am. I'm very satisfied with the election. Yeah.
I believe it was a long wait, and everybody wanted some change. So I think it's a good outcome.
Yeah. I was actually awake the whole night. I had an exam the next day for my school exam, and I was just awake whole night, and in the morning I went and just gave the exam. So yeah, that's what's up.
So you guys were Trump followers?
Oh, of course, yeah. Hell
Yeah, I think Trump did a very good job with winning these elections. I'm a very huge fan of Trump. I think that George Washington was president of first America of America. George Washington was first president of America, but Donald Trump is first president of Great America.
That's true.
I think Donald Trump, he's the man, he's the guy who can literally bring the change in United States of America. My question is that yes, we had some states which we knew Trump is going to win. But what are your thoughts on Pennsylvania?
Yeah, that was a hard one, but again, it was really easy flip. It didn't took no time. Last elections, the result took at least a week. Results were out in a week, and I think Nevada or Pennsylvania took 3 or 4 days just to give the results. But this time, the elections were in the morning, and by the midnight, you had all the states, results out. So that was pretty good. I was hoping for that.
And me and Pastor, you were sitting there, and Pastor, you remember what I was saying? Did you remember what I was saying? That when I was seeing those elections, we literally saw Pennsylvania changing. Pastor, what were your thoughts going on when you saw that Trump was winning from Pennsylvania?
Yeah, it's the Pennsylvania is a swing state. So in last election, Biden he really won from that state. So in the last moment, it was unpredictable because this was not an easy election. We knew that people want some change, but as we're talking about Pennsylvania, as we see that the flag, the map was turning into red, so we had a pretty much strong belief that Trump is gonna win. But swing state, they can turn the flip one side to another, but we knew that Trump is gonna win from the swing state Pennsylvania this time.
Yeah. If you guys really think this through, last year, last elections, the results took a long time. Why did it took a long time? Nobody knows. And this time it was out and it was quick, and Trump won.
But do you know why Trump won?
Why?
Trump won because of the disastrous policies of Kamala Harris. I don't think Kamala Harris was an effective leader in front of Donald Trump. Like, in 2022, here are the stats. 9.1% inflation rate increased, and it was highest among all 4 decades. So these were the policies which caused Democrats to lose. And I think that if they had better policies, if they had better structure, and if they had a better candidate, I consider Hillary Clinton as a better candidate in front of Donald Trump as compared to Kamala Harris.
But this time there was no better candidate other than Kamala Harris. You had Gavin Newsom. He is,
He's a disaster.
or I should call him Gavin Newscom. he's just 8% approval in his own Democratic Party. So, there were other people too, but Kamala Harris was the best option they had. And if you think about it, she didn't came through any merit. She was just, Biden dropped down and Kamala Harris was promoted. There was no polls for Democratic Party who should be the president. They just brought her out, and she became a nominee.
And another reason why Trump won was that all transgender crap. If you take a look at that crap, is that parents used to leave their boy at home, and by the time they used to return, their boy was converted into a girl. Like, what's this? Like, it doesn't make no sense. Like, parents used to leave their boy at home, and by the time they returned from Walmart, their boy was already a girl. It doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't go there, but yeah.
I mean, why would you do that to kids? Like, I feel it's totally below moral ethics, integrity, involving kids in these things. Why can't we give them a better education and better awareness? Yes, I respect all these communities. I respect all these communities by heart. But you cannot just put your kids and expose them to this stuff.
That's true. I wouldn't speak anything against anybody, but that's really true that kids should not be,
You're being a coward.
No.
You're literally being a coward.
No,
like, you have to tell the truth, right?
It's not being
That's
a coward.
his opinion. It's
like
expressing
no.
in a
I'm
different
saying
way.
kids should not be exposed to this kind of
Yes,
stuff.
there you go.
But if you're 18 and plus, if they want, anybody can do whatever. Our thing is just to educate the person.
Yes.
Only thing we can do is educate the next person. If he wants to listen, well and good. If he doesn't want to listen, then it's up to that person, right? In this transgender and all this kind of case, 18 and above, you can do whatever you want with your body. But if you're under 18, you shouldn't be doing anything like that. You shouldn't be exposing your kids to this kind of agenda. So that's my thought on it. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say everybody, as we're here in the United States, everybody has a freedom of everything. Everybody can do whatever he wants to do, as long as it's not the case to taking away people's freedom. So as we are here in this land, and everybody has a freedom, but we can celebrate our freedom in a good way and in a bad way. But it can also take direction where we are receiving our freedom. Let's say we had a current government, the former government. Actually, still we are under the same government. It hasn't changed. It will be eventually next year in January, when the Trump administration will be, took over finally. But if we talk about the Bible, I will just come from.
I mean, yeah, you're a pastor, so.
So I will just take a reference from the Bible, in Romans. When God appoints His people rejoices. And when you have the good authority, good leadership, it changes the whole game. So in this this current government, people were being supported to choose what is not right. But again, we cannot against their freedom of what they want. But as I said, we should choose what is good for ourselves and for our community. Because I see from the Bible, Bible itself is a great way for us to follow.
Amen. Yes.
Or to live our lives in this world. So I have one passage from the Bible from Romans, where it says, "When the godly are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked are in power, they groan." So it depends what authority or the government or the leadership you are in. The Bible itself, it says when the godly are in authority, people are rejoice. So
Amen.
our joy, our rejoicing, also depends. We believe that every government is from God's will, God's power. He appoints people. Nobody can move even without His will or power. But He also have reason for this government to show what's truth. But as you know, we cannot captive people's freedom. Everybody has their own will and desire, but it depends what we choose. If we choose evil, we will see the results of evil. But if we choose something which is leading us towards light, it will guide us our paths towards something which is good. So I would say that God still loves people regardless of their identity. He gives them a chance to come to Him and to live their lives according to His will and His mind.
Yeah, definitely. I do respect these people. I'm not saying that I'm totally against it. I respect them, but I mean, it should not be on kids. Kids should be safeguarded on it, and there is no point of celebrating a Pride Month in a high school. Why can't we switch that Pride Month with something more innovative, like an AI month or something, which is more related to kids and our future generation? Do you think I'm right? Do you think my point of view makes sense?
You're saying, we should, it's the foundation. If the children's are the foundation, the kids are the foundation. You have to build or lay your foundation strong. It depends where you're putting your foundation. If your foundation is based on something which is in the future, can confuse them, their mind, I believe the rest of their lives they will be confused. So you have to, it's your responsibility. It starts with you. You have to put their foundation strong. Kids are like a blank page.
There you go, right? Exactly.
So you can write whatever you want to write. And if you want to raise those things, it will take time. But it also depends. Everybody is different. Everybody thinks different way. But the change, if we wants to bring, it has to be begun at least with few people to start, and then it will change happen eventually, took over rest of the U.S. and in the world, because this thing is not just in one community. It's affecting the rest of the world, but the change has to be begun with the small steps of doing something opposite. But again, we should change something that can help them to understand what's right.
Definitely. Coming next, Vice President of United States of America. If I give my opinion, I really wanted Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek, if you're listening to me, bro, I was at your side. I really wanted you to be the next Vice President of United States of America. But Alicia has a different point of view, and Pastor have a different point of view.
I personally think J.D. Vance is a really, really good pick for the Vice President, because Vice President is a person who is, they are paving the way for the next president or future president. So Ramaswamy is good, don't get me wrong, but J.D. Vance I think is personal best choice. And he has a military background. He loves his country. He was a middle class, person who was, his mother was a drug addict, and there were so many problems in his family. And he still went to Yale school. He became an attorney. He came from here up to here. So I think it's a good pick. Really good pick.
But so was Vivek Ramaswamy. If you guys don't mind, I can tell you the credentials of both Vivek Ramaswamy and J.D. Vance. So guys, if you don't know, J.D. Vance has also served in military, and he went to Yale Law School.
Actually, both of them went to the Yale School, and both of them, I think, were classmates.
But Vivek also went to Harvard to get his bachelor's degree. I think it's in science or something. I'm not sure about it. But I think Vivek he's amazing. He's energetic. He whatever his point of view is, he doesn't shy away sharing that point of view. And I'm glad I'm a conservative and Republican. But Vivek was an amazing pick. You said that you said that you said that you are fine with JD Vance being the vice president. Why is that so?
Because he has that, personality. Plus, you already told about his credentials, and which are amazing.
But so is
serving in military is a big thing. He was actually serving while there was a war going on, so that's a big thing. Plus, he knows about American dream.
But so did Vivek.
Yeah, so both are okay. I'm not saying Vivek is good, but JD Vance is more calmer. And have you heard him talking? Have you heard his debates? Like he demolishes. It doesn't matter what it's CNN, it's NBS or whatever news it is. He's demolishing everybody. But so is Vivek.
Yeah,
so is
definitely.
Vivek. But yeah, I think JD Vance was a right pick. Vivek is totally new to this. JD Vance has been a senator.
A guy just created $1 billion company.
No. So did
that?
JD Vance. So did JD Vance. He's a billionaire too. He's a millionaire too. But he was a senator. Was Vivek a senator, or Vivek served in politics? He was a senator of Ohio in 2022 or 2021. I forgot when it was. But he served in politics. To be a senator, you should have a long history. As a serving, right? You have to serve in some mean to become a senator. So again, military background, political background. He's calmer. He talks good. He debates good. Very good pick. I'm fully, pleased with it. What do you think, Pastor D?
I would say, yeah, JD Vance is. I think it was the good choice for Trump to get him on board for vice president. And of course, people, he was from the middle class, as Elisha was saying. When you learn in a hard way, you expect other people, or you see other people in your shoe. So when you learn in a hard way, that's my main point. So he has gone through those situations and difficulties, but along with the achievements. So he knows, as he will get more experience with the Trump, the future, the elect President Trump. So Trump, he was also a businessman, and he has passion, and he's American patriotic. And JD Vance as well, so I trust that it's a good fit for.
And why is it not working? I think it just stopped.
Memory card.
नहीं 2 घंटे की कर सकता था वीडियो रिकॉर्ड. Was it even recording, Michael?
हाँ कर रहा था.
बोल के थक गए.
कर रहा था. शुरू हो गया.
ऐसे बोल के थक गए.
चलो बस start हो.
I will just continue with what I was saying. Trump is a businessman as well, and JD Vance, he's a good pick for him, and along with Trump, he will get more experience. How if it's God's plan in the future for him to be president of the United States. President. So yeah, I believe that he will be a good fit to run this country because he's also American patriotic, and he has a passion.
I'm gonna tell you another fun fact. JD Vance was really against Trump when he was in past he was really against Trump. He didn't like Trump at all.
Why?
There were so many reasons. How he handled COVID. JD Vance wasn't okay with the way he handled COVID, and there were some sayings he said which weren't really good, like he said drink bleach if you get COVID, and I know it was in a sarcasm way, but people just took it literally, and JD Vance, was against it, but now he's the biggest supporter, like Vivek. Both are really, really, they support Trump, but
It's a good humor, drink bleach.
yeah, you need humor
yeah.
too. You need humor too in politics.
And I think Trump has good humors.
Yeah.
And
He's an amazing guy. He's a wonderful
The
guy.
way he said, we killed Abu Bakr.
Abu Bakr Baghdadi.
Al-Baghdadi.
And he also says, Bobby, give me your oil.
Yeah.
So
And COVID came from China.
I mean, I don't know why people say him racist. He's the least racist guy I've ever met. He's not racist. Like, if you say that, hey, COVID came from China, it's a fact, right? You can not say that, if he's saying that COVID came from China, it makes him a racist. It doesn't make no sense, because how is this racist? People just want to get some fame or name talking shit about Trump, and I think that is the only reason they talk shit about him. Other than that, I think Trump is the most capable guy right now in America who can fix America. As I've already said, that George Washington was the first president of America, but Donald Trump is first president of the great America. So that's a fact.
No, he's handling stuff really good. You talk about border. He's the best president so far who handled the border. Like there was Reagan and all those, they said, well, we'll create a border policy, and they did, but nobody was coming through with the policies they made. But Trump actually came through, and he started building a wall.
Definitely.
And the borders are now he has Tom. He's really, really good too. Those are people we need right now to fix this country and for a better future. We need Trump administration this time. Let's see how they do.
Can I share with you guys a very fascinating stat? In 2022 alone, in 2022, almost 11 million unauthorized immigrants came to United States of America.
That's so true. And it was so rigged. Like when people were coming to Texas, like they were coming illegally, and Texas had their soldiers, in front line to take care of those people, illegal people. But federal government just took over and they said no, let them come in.
And out of 11 million, how many people came from Mexico? 10.6 million. Alone came from Mexico.
America is a land of opportunity.
There you go, yeah.
Okay, so some people call it it's a paradise.
Oh, I love this, yeah.
And we know that it's not a paradise, but it's a place. I'm not saying in a sense that it's a literal paradise.
That's what people mean. It's not a literal paradise, but they just
compared
to their countries is a paradise.
It's paradise on earth.
That's what I want to say is it's a place where everybody can fulfill their dreams and desires. So when we say the people from all over the world are coming in, because they see this is the place where they can grow, they can see their future. And many generations have been changed since many decades when the America was established. So America is a place where people have an opportunity, such opportunity where you cannot find any part of the world. So if people are, breaking into the borders and getting into the United States, of course they do not have a good opportunity in their own homeland. And everybody desire to be here in the United States. Even people, not from the middle class or even from the richest people, they want to be here because the system is different than the other.
It's the best.
But I personally think if you want to come, you should come legally. There should be then there is no law and order if everybody's coming through borders and I personally, if I talk about myself, it took us how many years? 14 years of immigration to actually come to United States. I was 5 years old when my grandparents applied for us, and it took us 14 years. I was 18 when I came here. So, you know, I understand people are going through hard route, but coming illegally is not the right way. And if you think about it, they are coming illegally, and we are the ones who are getting harmed. You know, we are paying taxes. Our tax money is going to for their accommodations and hotels, EBD cards, food stamps, and all that.
And
We are paying for that.
and not only money or like taxes are being used, my safety is compromised. Of the Americans is also compromised, and it is a real concern. I'm an immigrant, and I think my life is very much stable in the United States of America. I am living the true American dream, but at the same time, I'm a legal immigrant. But if you are an illegal immigrant coming to the United States, it's just like you have a house, you make your own house, you live in there, and suddenly someone from outside just come in and use your stuff. How would you feel?
So here's the thing. That's so true. I really wanna. My heart goes out for Laken Riley. You know who she is? Is a 22 years old nursing student. She was actually killed by an illegal immigrant, Jose. And recently, like yesterday, his case was finalized and he had life sentence. But she was killed while she was jogging in the morning, and this illegal immigrant actually wanted to rape her. He was out there in a black hoodie 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning looking for females, and then, you know, they can fight for her life. And she was able to, you know, not let him rape, but she was killed. And because he you know, stoned him actually to death, her to death. So it was really bothersome. You know, my heart goes to the family, and it's really such a sorry situation. So,
And I'll share another stat with you guys. You know how many people will be mass deported to their countries? According to Times, almost 15 to 20 million people will be mass deported. That's the big initiative Donald Trump is taking, and I'm with him on this initiative because I think the safety of an American should be the first priority of any president or any person sitting in White House.
mm-hmm.
Do you guys agree or not?
Yeah, and they say it's gonna take a lot of money. And deportation is not just you know, these Democrats, they're making all about Trump and racism. They're saying, you know, Trump is deporting everybody. If you go in past, Obama actually deported 3 million people. Do you know that?
Wow.
Obama deported 3 million people when he was president. So it's just not Trump who deports people. Obama did the same thing. So I don't know what Democrats are crying about. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say the illegality is always not the legal way to enter any country. It's not the U.S. If you say like any country in this entire world, you go and without checking or without, you know, any permission, nobody would allow anybody to get into the country. So if America is doing and they want to stop the illegality, I think it's a right of the country. It's the right of the border protection. And especially, you know, if you want to get into the country, why you won't choose the right path to get into the country? There wouldn't be harder process. I mean, some people, they do face, and there is a process to get in the country. But what the deportations can cause, of course, they were inside the U.S., and of course they have experienced different life just being in the country, even, you know, entering through the border illegal. But the thing is, you know, if the deportation is happening, I might be wrong, but when the President Trump was elected last time, and there was a story on the news I watched, I could be wrong, and I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
There was a guy who entered through a certain country into the U.S., and he had his children, his wife, and his children grown, and after 22 years, he was caught that he illegal entered to the country, and during President Trump, when he was just elected and he took over the country as a president, he had to deport that person. So I could imagine how hard it could be. But when it comes to the policy or the country and its safety, it's the right of every country. So it would be, I think, whatever President Trump said is not against to the human, or he doesn't want that, but I think as being a president of the country, it's his responsibility to do what's right and benefits for its people and for its country. I think what he's doing, he's doing right as a president. What happened, that's what he wants to change, and whatever he says and what he said before his first term of as a president, he did. He just only not said that, but he did. So that's what I think a country needs, a leader who just not only speaks, but he does for the benefits of its country and the people.
Couple points. I personally think, how you said people should come through the right way. Yes, they should come through right way. But I personally think there's a need for immigration change policies, because we need to change some immigration policies in which people could be processed fast. Then again, I'm going to talk about myself. It took 14 years for a person, for my grandpa, who was actually an American citizen. He was serving and paying taxes and doing everything. And it's still, I believe in process, but I think there should be some changes made in immigration policies which can help process people faster. Like right now, I was reading that if you're married to a U.S. citizen, they change it to 3 years now. Before it was just 1 year, which I think is really wrong.
Let me just correct you. For green card holder, if your spouse is a green card holder, it will take you around 3 years. If it will take you around 5 years, but if he or she, if your spouse is that, then all those transgender people will get mad at me. I'll use word spouse instead of he or she, because then they'll be like, oh, we have separate pronouns. So if your spouse is a U.S. citizen, then it takes 3 years. But if your spouse has
which I think is wrong, because in past it took only
9
1 year.
months. 9 months.
One stretch it out 1 year.
Yeah.
So which is again wrong. And I understand COVID hit. There is a backlog of cases. People want to come, and other immigration cases. So I think they need to process the cases a little faster than what they are doing right now. And
that needs to be emphasized more on changing immigration policies. The process should be a little faster. It's because they're not targeting on one person's in regards of the timing. It has been 14 months of wait when people immigrated from different parts. It's a long wait. It's truly a long wait. It has to be reduced, but the immigration policy is huge, and they should hire more people, because when it's come to immigration, when you talk with the people, and they have different experience and different time zone and wait in different areas. So they says whenever they get a response, they says immigration has less people, and the work is too much.
Okay.
So they cannot handle the applications. So if you pay them more money, they will do the fast process, because they're gonna work double. So you're gonna pay them more. Your process, which takes only 5 months or a year or 2 years, it takes years, and you don't know when you will get your answer. So they should hire more people in order to, to proceed in the process faster. So yeah, that's it should be.
My point of view on immigration policy is, yes, I'm not a very huge fan of it taking 13, 14 years. But at the same time, you also have to keep one thing in mind that, yes, there have been people whose marriage was fraud, and they did that fraud marriage and came to the US within a year, and after a year or year and a half got their US citizenship. So I think the only reason they extended this time period was they wanted to make sure that the marriage is legal, and the marriage is not fraud. But again, yeah, 3 years or 5 years, it's a long process.
Again,
I mean, people might get a divorce during that
you have
period.
to, yeah. you have to in medicine they call it, you have to weigh the risks and the benefits. What are the percentage of people, getting married just for green card is very little compared to people who want to come legal way. So, you can't make those people, majority people, suffer because of minority people who just get married for green card. So I think there should be a process in where they can sort out people who are illegal or getting married just for green card. So yeah.
Yeah, they because they're experienced people. They're not the full people. Dealing with thousands people, hundreds of thousands of people every day, and dealing with the same thing. They should have an idea what's their intentions, why people wants to come, and why it started. They have ways to find out.
I personally know people who actually showed them their personal chats, like
Who are they?
Like one of my friend, he was trying to call his girlfriend and her wife and his wife, and he has to show personal chats, some romance and all that. They have to show everything so that the agent or the officer can actually believe that this person is not lying and is committed. And they love it when it's a long relationship, like 3-4 years you are in relationship, you talk every day, you interact every day, and you have one or two times you've been and see that person, you had an engagement or all that kind of stuff. So but our culture, they promote arranged marriages, which they are totally, I won't say against it, but they highly doubt those marriages because so many arranged marriages are done that way.
Yeah, there are certain ways that they can, they can find out what are the intentions. So, in order to expedite the process, so people can have sooner quickest response rather than waiting for years and years. And those who have the right relationships or the right purpose to get in the country, they are also affected by the people that have wrong intentions. So yeah, that should be expedite in a way. But again, it's a huge part of immigration, and it should be take time, and I think it will take time because and immigration policies changes every time whoever takes hold. So
Yeah, definitely. I think the immigration policies need to be changed because I myself am an immigrant, and I don't want to say anything against all the people who are in line waiting to be immigrated to the United States of America, because I think America is the best place in the world. I don't see my future anywhere else other than this amazing, beautiful country. I think America is literally heaven on earth, as I've already mentioned. But at the same time, we have to keep in mind the security of the nation and everything, like who's coming, are they fraud or all kind of things. That
you won't personally want somebody just banging into your door and coming straight into the house. why? Think about this. Like, we don't nobody entering this house without our permission. It doesn't matter if that person is having any crisis. Doesn't matter. Regardless of the crisis, they should seek permission before they enter the country. And you if you talk about Pakistan, how many people fake their cases just to come here?
Yeah.
They fake their
Everything.
Some of them are real. I'm not saying everybody is fake, but most of them, majority are fake. They make fake papers and they come here and then they do their stuff. What do you think?
So if we talk about when the Biden administration, I could be wrong, when they said the American forces to be returned from Afghanistan.
Okay.
There was even when the army and the military was there in Afghanistan, even their own people felt secure while the American soldiers were on their soil.
Yeah.
So they were not feeling secure under their own administration rather than the American soldiers, because they were loyal and they had a purpose to protect the people. So because we know that there were the evil thing, I don't want to call who was there, but they were there for their own protection, for their own people in Afghanistan. And when you saw that when the military was returning, the American soldiers were leaving, and the people, the Afghan people, they were trying to grab even a tail of the plane to get into the plane so they can fly over to the United States. Even their scholars, they just want to get into the plane and wanted to come here. But the reason is, everybody is coming through any ways. But nobody checked them. Nobody knew them, who is coming. And maybe people who have been, near the country, Afghanistan, and they have migrated to that country and they plan to come over. But the reason why I'm saying that, it should be always, people let in with the permission. And
even
check.
Pakistan is tired of Afghan migrants.
Yeah.
And they're sending back the Afghan migrants because no country like migrants. I see so many people talking, hey, migrants, why don't America let migrants in? But if they talk about their own country, they don't let migrants either. Nobody. You talk about Egypt.
They never let
Egypt's not letting Palestinian, or Jordan is not letting Palestinians in. And why they're fighting? Hey, why America is not letting people in? It's just not America. People need to take this thing out of their head that everything bad is coming from America. They say where America goes, everything is destroyed. What do you think about Europe? Europe is full of Asian people, and it's destroyed.
Everyone wants us to spend money, and everyone wants us to be bad, right? Like, so if you see other people's philosophy about America, they want America to spend money, they want America to immigrate people, and at the same time they want to talk bad about our country. I mean, it's hypocrisy.
That is hypocrisy.
Yeah, if you talk about the Islamic nations, the migrants are the most from those countries. When they get here, they say, we cannot eat pork, we cannot eat certain things, we cannot dress in a certain way. You want to come into the country, but you don't like their lifestyle. Yeah, America is the place everybody has their own freedom. They can do whatever they want to do, even from any religion, any background, any country you're from, any culture you're from, any race.
Even people are promoting satanic stuff here.
Satanic stuff.
There are satanic stuff here too. So everybody's welcome.
Everybody's welcome, and everybody can practice whatever they want. America is a country where you can literally experience your own liberty and freedom. And what I'm saying is, if people wants to practice something, they don't like of the United States, they should head over to Mecca. Mecca is the place where they have more, things to do what they want to practice. So I think America is the most generous country who welcome everybody. So if we see Saudi Arabia, Mecca is a place where they're not welcoming people even from their own Muslim countries, their Islamic countries. So they don't even like them to.
I won't say they are not welcoming. I will say they want to keep their resources to for their people, which is good because they think about their people first. When I say their people, I'm talking about people who are born there, and they don't welcome. If you think about Dubai, you can go there, but you can't claim permanent residence. You can't be a citizen there. None of those states you can be a citizen. You can only enjoy their benefits, and then you have to go home eventually. But people who are actually born there, they actually have true benefits of being born to that state.
Yeah, it seemed like in the United States, if you are a permanent resident, if you're a U.S. citizen, there are the certain things that you cannot do. But what I'm saying is, if you go to the country, in crisis, America is the number one country who supports everybody. So what I'm saying is, if you want to go and practice certain things that you don't like here in the United States, and you are from the Islamic country, you should go to the Islamic nation.
You mean don't enforce your stuff?
Yeah,
like for example, if you're coming from Iran, there they don't let women go without the scarf, and I respect that. If you're under their law, respect it. You're going to their country. So you have to respect what their laws are. You have to abide by those laws. But when you're here in the United States, don't enforce those laws to people who are living here. Like, you don't have to enforce what I wear that you should wear too. It shouldn't be like that. So
do you know about the stats, like from which country most immigrants came? Do you guys know?
Is it from Mexico?
No, it's Syria. Yeah, for illegal immigrants, yes. But since 2011 war, most immigrants came from Syria. The number was almost 8.1 million. And then second is India. And the worst part, which I think, is that Americans, especially the Americans who are born in the United States of America, they don't understand the worth of America. Like, let's say if you're in China and if you say anything against their government, probably you'll be not seen in the picture. You'll be out of the game. Maybe out of the world.
They don't actually they are really, how should I put it this? Ungrateful. They are really ungrateful that they are born here. They have so many resources here, and they can eat whatever they want. They can drink. They can drive.
Yeah.
You have to just do a little hard work. But if you talk about countries, third world countries, or even second world countries, you go there, you work hard, but still you can't enjoy the benefits which a McDonald's worker here can enjoy.
Like we are from Pakistan, right? In Pakistan, you'll not have access to clean hot water and clean cold water at the same time. But in the US, even in rural places, you'll have access to clean hot water and cold water at the same time. So that's what I'm saying, that people don't understand how grateful and how blessed they are. There are no blackouts. There is no load shedding. There is no problem of anything, and they can have access to everything. And plus, they can explore their education initiatives or anything they want to do, and they have full freedom to do that. But in Pakistan or in any other country, I don't know about any other country because I haven't been there, but especially about Pakistan or like all the China and all that stuff out there.
There are so many Chinese immigrants too.
Yeah, and they are blessed to be in the US.
Oh, they are one of the group which makes a lot of money. You go to Diamond Bar, it's full of Chinese people who are actually millionaires. Their houses are like very, very big, and they, I don't know what they do, but they are actually doing good as a race. Chinese people they have a place called Chinatown in Pakistan, in America.
Yeah.
So from here you can see how they have grown, and same goes for Indian people. Indian people are really good
Artesia.
too. You go to Artesia, they call it Little India.
Little India, definitely.
So those are races, and Indians are actually on top of the list. They make
They make
100,000 a year and average household. So that's pretty good. 100,000.
Yeah, it depends what the leadership you have. You know, in Wyoming, there I was reading previously. It could be a very old post. I was reading. There was a man in the whole city. There was only one man, and he was living in a winter, very cold Wyoming, and he had his own house, electricity, gas, heating, pharmacy, store, grocery store,
Yeah.
everything, transportation station. They have provided just for one person. You know, American life is very different from
Amazing, it's amazing.
Even from if we say Europe is beautiful. It's amazing.
You've been
but
to Europe a lot.
You did your pastor degree from Europe, right?
Yeah, I
He did half of it from there.
Yeah,
Yeah, you've been to Europe.
So guys, I'm so sorry I'm cutting you guys off, but just to let you know that yes, I said Pastor G, that Pastor Asim, he is an LBN, but at the same time he did his bachelor's in theology from Hungary. Half of that was in Hungary, and then he transferred to Calvary Chapel Institute here in California. If I'm not wrong, it's in Yucaipa, right?
Mentone.
It's in
Redlands, right?
Marietta.
Yeah. So he's a pastor as well. So if you guys have any prayer requests, he'll do it for you.
Oh, thank you, Emmanuel. So what the thing is, you know, if we talk about Europe, you know, I've been in whole Europe, not all of the Europe, but most part of the European countries, and they're well-established countries because they were under the Nazis, and Nazis are the people, you know, they just don't want everybody to have the same or the higher standard life. You know, they want to give you a car, but they don't want everybody has that access. So that's their mentality. But if you come to the United States, even the people, you hardly see anybody without a car. There are more cars than the human beings here.
Exactly.
You know, so they're producing more cars than humans. But what I'm saying is the mentality and the country's leadership is very different. It's very different. So being here in the United States, it's a huge blessing to be just a part of this nation or the people. And they're the most generous people. They will come alongside with you, you know, and they will uplift you and do care for you. So I would say they are the more caring nations than any other.
When you talk about Europe, the first thing comes in my mind is London, which is totally ruined. If you see London, it is getting bad in Europe, and if Trump don't stop what's happening in this country, we're heading towards becoming that part of Europe.
Oh, Trump will do good. I mean, I don't have any doubt in that President Trump, he's one of the most capable, the greatest leaders ever in the history of United States of America. Like yesterday I was seeing that he was at a UFC fight. He's 77 years old, if I'm not wrong. He's 77 years old, and he was watching that fight till 3 a.m. in the morning. He was there for all those hours, sitting there at the age of 77. He was active, and guess what? That Biden, his competitor, might be in bed sleeping with his blanket on. So I think that's why I feel Trump is the most capable leader ever in the United States of America.
The thing about Trump I like is he believes in traditional family, nuclear family.
Definitely,
it's the biggest thing. Then he believes the most important. I think this is by far the most important. He believes in God. And
amen.
We need God in schools, and we need God in our life.
Everywhere.
And this constitution, I know they say separate the state from the church, but the people who wrote this constitution were morally engaged to Christianity. Those were Christian people who wrote it. So all the laws and all the constitution they produced was actually coming from Christianity.
Yeah.
So there was a time when in United States they used to pray before every school session. They used to say allegiance to
Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
Where is all that? And nowadays high school kids are all the kids are talking about is Pride Month, this month, that month.
Oh, that's a crap.
Transgender, which should not be taught in schools.
Yeah, I mean,
Not at all.
Teaching that thing in schools is, I think, a crap, and I have heard that people saying, oh, it's how we identify. I mean, if you identify like that particular thing, then keep it to yourself. Don't put your shadow over kids, because as I've already mentioned that yes, you can identify yourself as a candle, you can identify yourself as a car, you can identify yourself as anything, but it's because we are living in America, and America is a free country. But don't come for kids. That's when we'll not accept it.
And I personally think they need to bring common sense back.
Definitely.
Common sense, which is really not common in people nowadays.
Definitely.
So, you're right. Some people say we identify as a cat, but what are the attributes of cat? Do you have those attributes? What are you identifying to?
Probably they might make a noise from mouth, meow meow, and then say, oh, we identify as a cat. I mean, that's the only way they can identify as cat, because cat has 4 legs, and probably they don't have 4 legs. There are different things. I mean, cat has night vision, which they don't have. Probably they don't have a vision to see themselves in the mirror. That's why they are saying that they identify themselves as cats. So I think a lot of things need to be worked on.
Yeah. I personally think too.
Thank you guys for watching this podcast. If you have any questions, any concerns, or any feedbacks, do leave them in the comment section. And please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. See you with the next podcast. Till then, bye.